Hello everyone, Oliver and I are here to share with you an op art project. Oliver, do you know what op art is?
No.
No? Op art is short for optical illusion art, which means the artwork actually plays with our eyes. So sometimes when we look at optical illusion art, like this art that we see on this book, it sometimes looks like it's moving. Does it look like it's moving at all to you?
No.
No? Let's look at a different page. Whoa.
It looks like it's good.
So one of my favorite op artists is the artist Bridget Riley, and we'll share a little bit of her work with you, and make some op art fun.
Looks like.
All right, so now we're going to create some op art. So again, op art is short for optical illusion art, and that means that it's artwork that plays with your eyes. So maybe it makes it look like it's moving or things like that. So for this, you're going to want a piece of paper. If you have a ruler, you can use a ruler for the straight edge, or you can use a book or a piece of cardboard to make a straight line on your piece of paper. We're going to start by just drawing some hearts throughout our piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead, draw a heart, and you can draw as many or as little hearts as you want. You can have them go off the page or stay on the page. All right, so once you are done drawing hearts, we're going to take our ruler and we are going to start by just going across our piece of paper with lines. And when we're going across, and I'm going horizontally, so I'm making horizontal lines, I'm going to stop when I get to the heart. So I'm not going to go through the hearts. I'm going to stop, jump over to the other side and keep going. So I'm just dragging my straight edge. So whatever you're using to make those straight lines, if it's a ruler, a book, a piece of cardboard, a magazine, I'm just dragging my ruler down my piece of paper. Keep going, keep going. So sometimes too with optical illusions, it looks like it's popping out at you. So it looks like it's actually coming off the page. So sometimes it might look like it's moving. Sometimes it might look like it's coming off the page. So I'm going to continue to do this all the way down my piece of paper. All right, once you have those lines going all the way across your paper, now we're going to go back and we're going to pretend like we're going to continue those lines, but instead of going straight across through the heart, we're going to make it bump. So we're going to pretend like those hearts are coming out at us, and if I were to actually draw or feel that heart, I could feel it coming out. So by making that bump, we're going to make it look like these hearts are coming out at us. So bump, bump. If you're at the top, you can kind of do two bumps to make it look like we're going up, down, to make the top of the heart there. Voila. So now what we're going to do to make these hearts look like they're coming out even more at us is when we have objects that are three-dimensional, they're always going to have shadows depending on where their light is shining on them. So we can make our hearts look like they're popping out even more than they already are by going ahead and taking our pencil, and we're just going to create a little bit of a shadow. And we can take our finger and kind of blend that shadow in. That's really gonna make these hearts pop out at us. In addition to that, another thing you can do if you want is you could add color to it, or you could use a black Sharpie to really make these look nice and crisp. And you could even create almost like a checkerboard look. So you could even outline your pencil line with marker. So I'm going to play with it a little bit and I'll show you what I come up with. All right, so this is one way we can create op art hearts. So let's play with a couple different ways. So I have another piece of paper here and I just drew a nice big heart on it. Let me make it a little bit straighter. And in the middle of that, I'm going to draw a dot. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler. And I'm going to go around this dot and I'm just going to create radiating lines like this all the way around the heart. All right, once you have your radiating lines coming out of the center, we're going to go around and we're going to just make bumps coming out. So I'm going to go ahead and make bump here, here, here. When I go to this next reading line, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to make a dip, a dip, a dip, a dip. I'm going to continue all the way up to the edge of that heart. So again, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do bump, 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 and then I'm going to go ahead and do a dip, a dip. I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way around my heart. All right, so now that we have our bumps going all the way around, it almost should look like a wave going around your heart. We're going to go in and we're going to create some shadows. So I'm going to start in one section here, and I'm going to go ahead and go to this middle one, and I'm going to start by pressing harder on the outside and getting lighter as I go in. And don't worry, if you find you get a little too dark, you can always go in and erase a little bit. I'm going to hop over this one and go to my next one, again darker on the outside. And you can do this with a crayon too if you want to try it in a different color maybe. A crayon also works. So when I'm creating this value, so these lights and darks, when I want it to be darker, I'm pressing harder with my pencil as I come across. And then I'm going to slowly release that pressure a little bit. I'm getting a little bit softer with how I'm holding my pencil as I get to the top of where that bump is. So we're going to try to make it look like these little bumps are coming out at us. And again, you can always clean it up too once you are done here. So now I'm going to go over to the next section, but in this section I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to do this part. So I'm going to go really dark on the outsides, and I'm going to slowly release that pressure and get lighter as I come to the center. Now if this is too hard for you, if you're struggling with getting it to go lighter to dark, just feel free to use your eraser and go ahead and be consistent all the way across, and then go ahead and use your eraser to make it a little bit lighter in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this all the way around my heart. Oh, right. So we just finished this one, and this one looks cool because it looks like it's going dipping down, coming back up, dipping down, almost like a piece of fabric. The one thing we haven't done yet, so we've made it look like they're popping out, we made it look like fabric. But I'm curious if we can make one look like it's moving. So let's experiment and see if we can come up with something moving. So we're gonna just start with a simple piece of paper, and we're gonna start by drawing a nice big heart. And then we're going to find that center of the heart, and we're just going to put a dot there. And coming out from the center of the heart, we're going to draw a spiral. And I'm just going to keep going around. And then once I get to the edge of the heart, I'm going to pause. I'm going to pretend my spiral's going on around the outside, and then when it gets back to the heart, I'm going to put my pencil back down on the paper and continue it through. Now I'm going to go back to my center. I'm going to create a second spiral. And I want that spiral to be right in between the first spiral I created. Again, I'm going to pause, go, 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 and come right back down and put down my pencil again when my heart continues. Alright, once you have your spiral, you can either use a pencil or a marker. And we're going to go through and we're going to create some diagonal lines. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a diagonal line here. I'm going to make a diagonal line here. So I'm going to go along the spiral, making a diagonal line. And then on the opposite side of that diagonal line, I'm going to make another diagonal line going in the opposite direction. I'm going to continue to do this all the way around the spiral until I get to the very edge. So the beginning part is a little confusing because you have that center part, but you just keep going and going and going and going. Alright, so I'm going to continue going all the way around, and I'll show you what this looks like when we're all done. Alright, so when you're all done, it should look like you have a spiral, and it should look like it's moving and going down and down and down for this one. So if these ones were a little bit difficult for you, my son Oliver, who is 5 years old, he is going to show you a simple version, and him and I are going to create some fun op art hearts with some simple lines. So for this part, you're going to need a pencil and a piece of paper. Oliver, do you have a pencil, bud?
I don't know.
Alright, here you go, bud. Alright, so for this part, we are going to just simply start by drawing some hearts, okay? So we're going to go ahead and draw some hearts all the way across this paper. We're going to focus on making nice, clean hearts. Symmetrical hearts. Do you know what the word symmetrical means, Oliver?
Nope.
It means it's the same on both sides. It's a mirror image.
Oh, this one's gonna be a good one, Mom.
You think so?
Mom.
Ooh, you might want to make your hearts a little bit bigger. But those are beautiful hearts. Good job. See how I'm kind of filling up my page with those hearts, bud? Good job. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and fill your paper with some hearts. Alright, so once you have your hearts drawn, you can use a black marker, or you could do colored, however you choose, or you could use a black pen, whatever you have around. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to outline our hearts with black marker. And once we're done outlining them with black marker, we're going to go inside and we're going to create a echo of that heart on the inside. So we're repeating the shape on the inside. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do that to all the hearts on your piece of paper. So we're outlining the heart, and then we're repeating that echo inside the heart.
What are we doing again? Oh!
Like that. All right, so go ahead and do that to every heart on your piece of paper. All right, so once you have your hearts and then the echoes coming inside, you could leave it like that if you want, or you could add some color to it around the outside. So, oh, sorry. So I'm gonna try to do almost like a rainbow effect. So I'm gonna do a red marker to start. Ollie, what do you wanna do? Or maybe I'll do pink first.
I wanna do inside.
Okay, you do how you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start by adding some color around the outside. So I'm going to repeat those echoes of my hearts, but now we're going to go around the outside.
I might start actually with blue actually, but I was almost gonna start with purple.
Yeah.
But now I want blue. Anyway, these are my markers.
And I'm borrowing. So I'm going to keep going around. I'm going to go ahead and go to red. But again, you can choose whatever colors you want.
If you like blue, you can draw blue. If you like red, you could write red.
Yes.
And you can move on. And look at what I'm doing. I'm scribbling, but it
Okay, look at, uh-oh, oh no, I'm gonna crash into this heart. When I crash into another heart, I'm just gonna stop like that, and then I'm gonna go and repeat it on the other side, okay? So if you get to where you're starting to overlap with your other hearts on your piece of paper, you're just gonna stop and continue when you get to the other side. What comes after red in the rainbow, do you remember?
Pink. No.
Mm-mm.
Black.
Mm-mm.
Orange.
Orange. Remember Roy?
Right. Did you know one time we saw a rainbow at Great Papa and Grandma's?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go and echo around the kind of strange shapes now. So once you start getting where your hearts are overlapping, you're going to start echoing around the strange shape. So it might not be heart-shaped anymore.
You're moving me off.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Seth. Alright, so I'm going to keep going. Are you going to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we just finished up our fun hearts that echo. So today we did some really cool op art hearts. Remember, op art is short for optical illusion art. And although it's not fun to play with people's hearts, is it? Is it not cool to play with people's hearts and trick people's hearts? That's not cool, right, Ollie? No? You gotta speak up.
No.
No. But is it fun to play with people's eyes and trick their eyes to make things look like they're popping out at us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, op art hearts. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. There's lots of different ways you can take these hearts too.
It doesn't look like it's moving very much.
No. Kind of a little bit though. So the last thing you can do if you want is you could cut these out and then you could give them away for Valentine's if you want, or just for acts of kindness, right? All right, we can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Have a great art-filled day.